Hey, welcome to This Commerce Life, an unscripted podcast that focuses on the stories behind small and independent Canadian retail and Canadian CPG.
What we try and do is deliver or pull out the story of our guests and give them to you. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly of retail and CPG in Canada. We're filling a need because we think that retail is hard on the best of days, but it's also a wonderful, wonderful place to grow up and make your living.
We also think that the industry, nor the people that inadvertently find themselves in the industry, really understand the industry at all. They don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes.
So listen to us, Phil and Kenny. We'll unravel it for you. We'll give you the story. We'll give you the story behind the story. Hello.
There's the man.
How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Long time no see.
Feels like it, eh? Yeah. I've had this just flown by. I don't know. I don't know on your side. It's been unbelievably quick year.
I don't know where any of it's gone actually. Like kind of look up and like, holy crap, what month is it? Like what is happening? Do you know? Like all of it is just, I don't know
It's
what's happening.
exciting, but it's terrifying all at the same time, right?
It's terrifying. I think like I don't even think I've had time to be excited yet.
I've got a birthday coming up in 2 weeks, and it just
Okay.
always hits me with birthdays. It's like,
Yeah.
how did this happen? Like,
We're,
I turned
is it a
45 this
milestone
year.
birthday?
45. So no
Okay.
milestone.
Okay.
We're not celebrating anything, but I feel like it was just my 40th, like yesterday.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
hear you.
wow,
I
it'd
hear
be
you.
my 45th birthday.
Listen,
Understand?
they get worse as you get older, but this isn't about that. But it is. I do hear you. Like it's kind of this year. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I
You've
have
got
actually have no idea. Like it's just what's
you have
that?
kids? You have kids?
Yeah. I have three. Yeah,
Same
yeah,
here. And
yeah,
I just find people always told me that, like, what is it,
yeah,
the days are long, the years are short, whatever that saying is.
yeah,
And when I had kids, I was like, holy bleep, like
yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
It just
like how old are your kids?
9, 7, and turning 5.
Yeah, so mine are 24, 20, and 18. The last one,
Yep.
the
Yep.
18-year-old took her time, just got her G2. So she is driving. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the two girls, 20 and 18, are moving out. They were both home for uni last year, and they both
Yep.
decided they got to concentrate on school, so they're both moving out. Right. So literally, I feel like I went from where you are to like,
What
oh
do I
my
do
God.
now?
And then my daughter, the 20-year-old, said to me, oh, well, you guys will be able to do so much stuff. Like, make sure mommy doesn't get bored. And I go, mommy and I were together before you guys, right? Like, we actually had a life before you. Like I said to her, and then she goes, oh, that's true. And I go, the problem is we have no idea what we were doing before you guys got here because you guys wiped everything out. So now we got to figure out what any of
Build it
that
all
means.
over again. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got kids going to university. My big chain. Hey, Kenny, by the way. Sorry, I don't want to ignore you as you
No,
talk.
no, you guys keep
Yeah.
doing you. My kids are way older than your kids. Both your
Is
kids.
the boys, my two oldest are boys, and
Yeah.
the daughter's the youngest. And the boys have started going around the neighborhood on their bikes by themselves. And it didn't seem like that big of a thing, but the first day they all left. And Karen and I were
Yeah.
standing in the house, and we're like, well, this feels weird. Like they're
Yeah.
just out and about in the world, and we're
Yeah.
not with them. And I knew at that moment, I'm like, that is the start of what comes
Holy
next,
crap.
Yeah,
Yes.
right? Like it's just
yeah.
gonna snowball going downhill at this
Yeah.
point,
It
right?
just lets you build time though with it, right? It's just almost like the mechanics are set up. You got about 12, 13 years to get used to it. Because every year it gets a little farther away, a little farther away.
I feel like it's the frog in the pot, right? Like you don't notice it as much because they just
Yeah,
crank it up a
Yes.
little bit day
yeah.
after day.
And
So
you sooner or later you boil and you move on.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
what
Hey,
it's all good, man. It's a good ride.
so Phil, either you have a professionally designed house or you're in a hotel. I can't tell
I'm
which.
in a hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. My
One of
house
the
is
two. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah.
Whereabouts are you?
We're up at Blue Mountain. We've got some visitors in from Mexico, so We brought them up here to play for a couple of days. They're
Great
amazed by
spot.
the trees,
Such
and
a great
it's
spot.
beautiful up here. It really is. It's more, everything feels more expensive than I remember, which I feel like is a theme for this year as well. Um,
Yes.
but they're having fun, so it's all good. No
Is this
worries.
like a real mountain, or is this like we just put mountain behind the
Kenny,
name?
listen, like it's Ontario, all right? So just
I
get
don't know
over
where
it.
you
All right?
guys
Just
are.
get
Like, is
over
this
it,
like
okay? It's an
like a
escarpment.
big
It's like
mountain?
300. It's like 300 feet high. How's that?
Oh, okay.
And guess what? Big
Yeah,
surprise. It's also not blue. So you know
yeah,
what? We lie all over the place. It's
yeah.
nor a mountain, nor is it blue.
No, that's correct. That's correct.
Hmm.
It's the closest thing we've got.
Listen, I keep telling him this, right? Like it's him, like because we drove to Ottawa in February, and I was like, listen, you should just fly to Ottawa because it's boring as fuck. Like this ride in from Toronto to Ottawa, and he's like, no, there must be things to see,
There's
and
gotta
I'm
be
like,
something to see.
listen, I live here. I'm telling you now, there's nothing to see. We get up there, and he goes, man, and I said that you didn't like.
It depends how you go. Like you if you take some,
Well, he said we
Okay,
could have gone the back road and taken
oh,
about 7 days to get
not
there.
in February, we're not. No, not in
no,
February.
I went right.
Yeah.
We went up to Barry's Bay, which is
Okay.
just like north
Yep.
west of Ottawa,
Yeah.
and took some of the like Highway 7 back
Yeah.
road. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful up there.
It's
You got
pretty. It's really pretty.
the Canadian
Yeah.
Shield, you've
Yeah.
got the lakes that you drive
Yeah.
through.
But see, I
That's the way
think
you
that's what
gotta
I
go.
wanted to see. But we
Yeah.
took this, I guess, the highway, and
No,
I'm
because
thinking, wow,
it's
this is like,
February, man. Like I take you on Highway 7, they may never find us again, right? Like they're pulling us, like it's either that or take us 8 hours because we get stuck behind a tractor trailer and
yeah,
That's
there's
true.
reasons
it
why
was
you
a
don't.
pretty boring ride.
Yeah.
Bottom
Tell us what
line,
you really think, Kenny. Tell us what
it
you
was a
really
pretty
think.
boring ride, guys.
I warned him that's what it was going to be, but anyway.
We can't all have Vancouver backdrops. We're
Yeah,
just
true.
not all as lucky as you are.
No, to be honest with you, you know that when you live here and you start when I used to fly a lot, you'd fly home, you think, wow, it's
Yeah,
tough setting. It's a tough setting to beat.
yeah. You really, you take the
It
burden
really
well,
is.
Kenny. You really
Yeah.
do.
You know what I do for you guys? What I do for
I've heard how Phil's doing. Before we jump into all this, how are you doing,
Yeah.
Kenny? How are things? Good? Living the
above
life?
ground, buddy. Having my morning coffee. It's all good on the hood.
I love that attitude. Yeah.
All good in the hood. How are
So how's your
you?
day going? I woke up. It's a good day. There will
Yeah,
be a
so you're
day when I
above ground.
don't.
The
So,
sun's out. What do you want? It's not. It could be a lot worse.
so my kids always give me a hard time. Any place we go, I make them take the stairs. Because
Yeah.
my theory is there will become a time in my life where I can't physically take the
And you
stairs.
know what? And
I will
you'll
want
know
to.
when you can't. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a fun day. I don't think that's a day that people should look forward
No.
to.
And I know at that point I will look back and think fondly of all my stair
Yeah.
climbing days. And so I tell the kids there'll be plenty of time to take the escalator. Now's not the time.
Yeah, just
Oh,
do
go
what
live
you
life.
can, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
So
are
no,
you?
yeah,
How's things?
things are good. Things are good. Yeah. No,
Mhm.
family's great. It's been a great summer so far. We're actually heading up to our cottage for a week.
Nice.
So that'll be nice. Get the kids up
That would be
there,
nice.
spend some time in the
Yeah.
lake.
Yeah.
We
It's
were
some
up
water
there
time too.
during the smoke and the heat,
Oh,
so
yeah. Okay.
it'll be nice to go
You
up and
guys
see.
have got it pretty ugly though. Like, I mean, I don't see as much on the news right now. I don't know if things have calmed.
It's okay,
You guys,
actually.
you
It's
each went out
Better.
Thunder
really
Bay, which
clear
is
right now. So
way west. I get it, but like you guys have had a lot of.
Oh, it's
Fuck,
been bad.
we normally have it bad. It hasn't. I mean, we've had pockets of not very good at all, but
Yeah.
not like we've had where the whole fucking province is burning.
No, the
Like
kids have
it's
been at their camps. They've had 3 or 4 days where they've had to stay inside. They're just not
really,
allowed
eh?
out.
That's too bad.
Yeah. So no, it seems to have cleared. I mean, they still got issues, so I don't want to say we're not suffering from it, but they're still suffering from it.
Well, clearly, right? Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. So definitely want
yeah.
to recognize
Yeah.
that. But it's been much better in the city. I don't know for you, Phil, but it's cooled down a lot.
Yep.
The air's cleared up a lot.
no,
Yep.
that's good. That's
I'm
good.
I'm a shorts and hoodie kind of guy, so this is my weather. Like this is
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Slightly
awesome,
cool
guys.
in the morning, right? Like nice and hot middle of the
Yep.
day, and then kind of like evening-ish, I can throw a sweater back on and be
Isn't it
pretty
beautiful?
happy. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, do you guys want? What do you want? You want to
Cheers,
float
right?
right into
I want
this
to give a
puppy?
shout out because your PR person Jess
Yeah.
is great.
Good.
And
Good.
then Jess was like, Jess reached out, and I was like, listen, Jess, Aaron's a friend of the podcast. He can come back on anytime he wants, anytime. And then Jess was like, well, what about topics? I was like, we can talk about anything. And I think like our aloofness was throwing Jess out because Jess was like, I have all these time. I'm like, we're
I think she
good.
was waiting for a
And then-
script, right? We're thinking, what it's his podcast. What do you, I don't want, well, you tell me what you want to talk about. I don't care. We'll talk
so,
whatever everyone wants to go, we'll go.
so Jess, if you're listening to this, this is
All
all you
good.
get. So
Yeah.
They are such tremendous partners, and the fact that they have such an attention to detail is why we love them so much. But this is a different kind of engagement versus some of the other ones I get to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, and I should check with the team, but you
yeah.
guys know on Saturday Night Live when they've got like the five hosting jacket club, and they've got like the
Yep.
secret
Yeah.
lounge they get
Yeah.
smoking jacket. I think this
Yeah.
podcast needs the equivalent because we got to be getting up there. This
Oh,
is
I'd
going
be
to be
all
my
over it.
fourth or fifth time on the podcast, so like we need
Yeah,
a
I
secret
think so.
society of like return guests.
Yeah.
I like that because there's a few of
Oh,
you that we could probably do that with.
Just do like
Not
a
a
special
lot.
it's
edition
really
Not a
episode.
lot.
fun,
It's a
actually.
small group of few, but
Yeah,
there's a few of you.
the
That would be
more exclusive, the better, right?
I like the
yeah.
jacket idea.
Little smoking jacket, this
Yeah.
Life
Yeah,
logo.
I'm kind
It
of
could be
liking
fun.
it.
It could be fun. Anyway, I
Oh,
coming on, I was like, it's got to be
I
the
like
first
this.
the first time I ever sat down with you guys. I think I sat outside and I didn't realize we recorded the whole thing and I made some comment about Lindsay and was like, oh no, this is going on the podcast and I had to like warn her ahead of time. So it's been a while. It's been a
We
while.
only say
Do
nice
you
things
have
about
anything
Lindsay.
to say about Lindsay now? Is it?
Yeah. Is the
I would
mic on?
suggest we
Yeah.
keep it very, very nice. I would not
We
go
love
down the
Lindsay.
other side. Dangerous.
I don't think we
Very
could.
dangerous.
I don't think we could. Yeah.
No. And there's really no side to go down.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, look,
Okay.
things are quite boring right now. Not much going on. The world is
Yeah.
quite normal and
Yeah,
complacent. There's
peaceful.
no
But
geopolitics, no
No.
economic upheaval. It's just steady
No
Eddie, right?
climate change issues. Nothing happening. It's all good in the hood, man.
I mean, what an interesting time to be alive, though, right? I mean, we'll get into our sector specifically, but just
yeah.
broadening the aperture, it all impacts us, right? And it is just, I wake up every morning and, open the news and it's unbelievable. Just the amount of change, the speed of
Yeah.
change. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like this.
I don't think the planet ever has.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't think there's any society ever on this planet that has seen so much change in such a short period of time.
No,
It's
well,
somewhat
no,
over.
I disagree. I think if you kind of roll back to like turn of the century, there was stuff, but we probably
How long does it take?
no, but we I don't think we were aware of most of it, like
Yes.
our
Yes.
interconnectivity.
Maybe.
Like I'm sure that right around World War One, there was a ton of crap
Yeah.
going on behind the scenes. You just wouldn't know it, right? Because
Right, but it took
papers,
those scenes took
carbon
50 years to
copy.
build. That's my point. Is like if you look at it now, like even just go technology, think about it. The phones have only been 2009. We're not talking
No, no, but
50 years,
all I'm
100
saying,
years.
all I'm
Like it
saying is
took,
that what's going on
I
right
get it.
now is just really immediate, right? But it's like, oh my God, like it's just
Yeah.
all
I don't know. It just seems like a lot of stuff real fast.
Yeah,
yeah.
Kenny, I think you're right. Like both the awareness and the technology change have kind of layered on top of each other, right? Like you
And
can
that's
wake
the
up
thing is
and cell
wasn't
phone.
we didn't get one thing.
No.
Like again, if the horse leaves, the cars come 50 years, we see it coming. The blacksmiths have lots and lots of time because it was
Yep.
inevitable. Some of these things, like
I mean, AI,
who
we're
the hell
talking about
knew? Like
AI
look at
data
AI.
centers inside of cities
Yeah.
now.
But look at
Yeah.
from the
People
phone
haven't
to
even
now, Phil.
grasped what AI
AI,
is.
social, all the shit within that 15, 16 years, 17 years, whatever the number is. That's unbelievable, the amount of change in such a short period of time.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I was reading a story the other day, and I'm not going to reference it properly, but it was talking about New York City and blacksmiths and horses and how it went from, I can't remember the number, like thousands of blacksmiths and, the states were
Oh
filled with
yeah.
horses. Within a 12-month period, there
Yeah.
was no horses and no
Yeah.
blacksmiths. And the
Yeah.
speed at which that industry had to change within the city.
Within the city.
The number one fuel source around the world in like the late
Yeah.
1800s was whale oil, right?
Yeah.
And within the span of like 2 to 3 years,
Gone,
it was gone, right?
gone,
And the whaling industry it
gone.
was the largest industry, and then it
Yeah,
was just gone in 3 years. So there is a
Dominated.
point of
Yeah.
like we just
Yep.
weren't as aware of the speed of change before, but when we have that
yeah.
hindsight to look back, there have been moments where things
There
shift.
have been. I think when you look at it, it's just what it is though. So you go from 1,000 blacksmiths to hundreds of thousands of people being laid off because now we can just type in
Yeah,
something into a GPT.
yeah, yeah. No,
You know what I mean? It's the scale of
It's a percentage of population, though. If
it's
you look
just
yeah,
at it.
insanity, right? It's so fast and it's so
Yeah.
large,
yeah.
and
Are you guys seeing
we don't
the?
even know it's coming.
And I don't know. We can get into this if you want, but just curious for you guys, given the work that you do. Like, has AI impacted your business significantly? Like the brands you guys are working with, is that just part of
Yeah,
the playbook now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know
yeah,
if
I
there's a
think
plan for it sometimes, but I think it's part of the playbook. I think people are just using, or just it just starts
people
to
are using it. Yeah.
become part of the
A
world,
little
and
bit
you're
of good
not
and
too
a
sure how
little
you
bit of
got there.
bad. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely it's in there. And I think it's changing discretionary spend or where they hire people,
Yeah,
all of those sort of things. I think it's
yeah,
changed the way they do business.
yeah,
And I don't know if it's made them all faster yet, because I don't think
Yeah.
everyone's figured out exactly how to make it
Yep.
work for them, but certainly it's saved them some dollars, I think,
I don't know if
which
it's made them
I don't,
better,
I
if
don't
it
know if
even
it's
saved
good or
them
bad.
dollars,
I just
though.
think it has
Yeah.
saved them
Yeah.
some dollars, right?
I know a
So,
lot of people have saved the dollars in the sense that maybe they haven't phoned a lawyer or an accountant, but then sometimes you listen to what they're doing and you're thinking, I think that's just called deferred because I've heard what you said and I don't know much about much, but you're going to be calling a lawyer or the accountant soon because what you just spit out,
it doesn't make that.
it's sort of right.
It's so interesting. I was talking to our legal counsel yesterday, and the head lawyer, and he's like, you can see the impact for sure. Like people are
Sure.
doing more work up front. They're coming to us later. He's like, I'm not quite sure yet though if it's going to be a negative or a positive impact on our practice.
Wow.
Because he's like, we get less of the early problems and more of the later problems.
Yeah.
So a lot more partner work, a little less junior work. So he's like, the
Yeah.
shift in where the work is coming in, yes, that's coming across. He's like, but we spend a lot of time now fixing things that people try to
Yeah.
do themselves.
Yeah.
And so the work has changed slightly. And if you're an entry level accountant, an entry level lawyer, articling right now, I don't know if it still exists because you can just get systems to
I don't
do all
know.
that work for you, right? So I don't know how you enter the profession now, but at least those I've talked to, the
Yeah.
workload at the top is the same. It's just, what happens on the entry
Yeah.
point into that work stream. So
Yeah.
look, we don't know what it's going to look like. I find now it's not who is or isn't using it, it's to what degree,
And
how
how?
leaned in, but it's a part
Yeah.
of everyone's workflow now. And it's so interesting to see the impact that that's having.
I think it's fascinating. And I think, because again, you sit back, if you look at how quick that has come, there hasn't
Yeah,
been a lot of time to adjust. And again, we're not talking a sector, we're
yeah,
talking a society.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not one group. It's not now the blacksmiths are in trouble.
yeah,
It's like all of a sudden it was pick an area. Now we're all talking about, okay, like if I was going to be a plumber or a welder, I'm AI safe. And you're thinking, you are for how long?
yeah.
Because yeah, at the moment it's that's not tomorrow, and there's reason. But you start looking at all these positions. We're not talking one little sector being knocked out or changed. It's across the board.
One,
Professions, trades, pick.
one of the quotes I like is you're not going to lose your job to AI, you're going to lose your job to someone who uses AI. And I think
I
it's the
like
same.
that.
Like you look
Yeah,
at like a plumbing profession, right? You're going to lose competition to a plumber who's engaged in AI to drive the marketing of their business,
Yeah.
to
sure.
manage the back end of their finances, and they're going to be
Yeah,
much more proficient at what they do.
yeah.
It's not that they're going to take over the task, but those who lean in on it are going to be a few steps ahead of you, right? And
You
so,
would think, right? You would
yeah, and
definitely think, right?
actually, I had an electrician in doing work not too long ago, and I said, "How's business for you? Like, you feeling protected by all these things that are changing?" He's like, "My profession, yes. Unfortunately, people are losing their jobs because of the shift to AI." And he's like, "Those people now have less money to do renovations, and so there's less people looking for my
Yeah,
work." He's like, "So I'm impacted too." And I hadn't thought of that
for
cascade,
sure.
right? And it's true. These the
Yeah.
economic issues, the inflation we're going, it may not directly impact, but it impacts your customer, and
It impacts it all the way through.
you got
Like
to
I
be
was
aware of
saying,
that.
like even in our industries, if you look at the retail side, like the stores that you have to deal with in the retail, you know, I was laughing yesterday because I had to go through. I put the cantaloupe down on the machine. Cantaloupe. I'm thinking, huh, okay. I mean, I know I get why. I know there's cameras, right? I know it's scanning, but I'm thinking that's interesting. Like 8 months ago, it would have been, what is it? Is it scale? Are you scaling this? You know what I mean? Like, is
Yeah,
it a
yeah,
scalable item or not a scalable item? Like,
yeah,
is there a
yeah.
weight issue or is it a one or a two? You're thinking now it's telling me cauliflower. Okay. So now I think, okay, then I looked at the line of cashiers and there's 27 cashiers down this way. I'm thinking, well, wonder what they're all going to be doing in the 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Because
there's
that's not that's yay team. I guess we're going through faster. Like I'm doing all the work and I'm waiting for Galen to send the check back for the cashier services that I've been providing that I don't seem to be getting paid. I don't know. Maybe you guys took the paycheck. Someone's got my paycheck. I don't know where it
It's in the
is.
mail, Kenny. It's in the
so
mail.
there's you guys are in the podcast space, so I'm sure you peruse other podcasts, but Freakonomics does one.
Yeah.
I think like the history of everything, something like that, and they
Yeah.
talk about self-scan checkouts and how it was supposed to be this utopia. It was going to save these retailers all their money. They're actually moving in the opposite direction. They're actually pulling them out. They're removing them because there is no financial upside for them.
There's nothing.
It's shifting the user experience, right, and the customer experience. And so there's major pushes now, especially I think it's in the UK, where they're actually pulling
Okay.
them all out of the
Yeah.
stores
Yeah.
because it hasn't been like,
No.
theft goes through the roof, the shrink rates go through the roof because people either just don't know how to use them or they're intentionally diverting
Right.
things. And so I think
Yeah.
we learn, we lean in on technology, and then we start to realize that
You
it doesn't
hope,
actually do
Aaron,
the
because I
thing.
think there's also massive displacement of people. What do you want people to do?
But if you're a retailer, truly, I think they're not doing it right. Is you wish that what you did is because those folks at the register, they know more about the products than anybody else.
Yep.
And so what you really want, because what we do know also is when you have people roaming the store, like salespeople and whatever, the shop is better, right? Like you get better basket purchase, you get all of those things that are good for retailers. But it's too juicy to look at the bottom line and go, listen, I can get rid of kind of a roster of 6 or 8 full-timers and 6 or 8 part-timers and save the cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate, right? Because you kind of go, we all know it is. If you have someone in the aisles and they're working in the aisles and they're actively pushing product, you actually sell more stuff, period. Right?
Yes.
But we can't.
If you face the shelves, if you fill the holes,
Yeah.
it's amazing if you put something in the hole, you might actually sell shit.
So,
Kenny, that's just old world shit. I can't believe you're still talking. You're
I've
aging
just
yourself.
learned that over the years. I've
Come
just
on,
noticed
man.
it works for me, Phil. I walk in, if there's nothing there, I leave with nothing. Who
Kenny also
knew?
wants to bring back the penny candy. So we're dating ourselves here. Yeah.
I've
I
had
don't
my
know.
shelves
It,
filled, boys. Just
it
filled.
might be on your radar because this is space you guys work in so closely. But
Yeah.
there's a company called Tally that is I think it's being adopted by Kroger is now rolling it out.
Yeah.
There's these big, tall AI enabled video camera machines that go up and down the aisle
Yeah.
and will identify stock issues and it increases the fill rate on shelf, and so that AI model is being applied to
Yeah.
not just checkout, but even just stocking shelves,
Yeah.
keeping
Stocking
updates
as
on
well.
inventory. And so I think it's the tip of the iceberg, but we're dipping into it and then we're coming back out when we realize it doesn't have the impact that it should
Yeah.
have, which is good, right? Like we should try all these things.
I
So
think
with
you should
that,
try them too, because yeah, you're right. But you could also just walk the aisle. I mean, it's a concept that used to happen, but
yeah. Well, but if you look at what
Maybe you're
Amazon
old.
has done, they were all in on their cashier staffless
the
store,
self-scanning thingy,
right? It's just like
whatever.
all the cameras, and you just walk in, walk out, and took it. An update I heard a couple weeks ago, I believe, is they've abandoned that whole project. They
Yeah.
just said, look, it doesn't
Yeah.
work,
It-
right? Of
yeah.
all the money they've invested in it, they're like, it doesn't work. And so they're investing in the shopping cart that will tally your checkout as you put it in the shopping cart. Like that's where they want to spend their effort and research. So it's like even these large kind of the billions of dollars that Amazon put in to try to figure this out, for them to go, yeah, 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 you know what, it's not going to work and walk away. It's pretty telling, right?
Yeah.
That, they kind of come up on the limit of
Yeah.
real person to person interaction.
Yeah.
There's a threshold there. We learned it through COVID. We all like spending time together.
Well,
We like
I
being in the
think
same room.
Your example's kind of funny too. You think about it. You spent billions and billions of dollars trying to get rid of the people that we actually sort of wanted around, when you could have probably just given the billions and billions to the people who might have spent more on the electrician and plumber who are kind of maybe now looking for something to do.
I love a good idea, Kenny. Let me know when you're running for prime minister. You
That
got my
wouldn't happen, man. You
get
can
these
Hired,
imagine
get
that.
these ideas. They're incredible.
Yeah, please.
Kenny for prime minister.
But
You start
that's
that
a
here.
2 minute journey. That'd be a nightmare.
Aaron and I said it first. Kenny Vanucci for prime
Nah,
minister.
not gonna happen.
Yeah. I'll
Can you
be your
imagine?
campaign manager. I'd love to do it. It'd be great.
Can you imagine that disaster?
I'll
You know
get
how many
I'll get our
people I tell
social
to fuck
media
off,
person
right?
on it right away. We'll just start, you know.
We're just
No, there'd
glad that there
be
was no cell phones when you were a kid, Kenny.
no,
That's
man.
all.
We'd have to censor television. The language would be atrocious. There's no patience. Forget it, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it'd be an improvement over the one south of the border. So who knows? Yeah.
Well, thank you for the borrow.
Huge vote of confidence. Huge
Yeah,
vote
I
of
mean,
Yeah.
you can't set that one much lower. Okay, anyway, we had 20 minutes. What are you doing? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
what's going on? You got so we just sent over stuff because we don't cover that just
You're 26 minutes in, and we've
Yeah.
done
we're
nothing
very
that Jess
kick
has
our
asked.
ass.
Zero.
Sorry, let's go through the checklist. That no. Are you guys excited for the show? We got a
We
show coming up
are.
in
Always.
September.
Yeah, we really are.
Our biggest and best yet, to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest. So I know that the team has just been working like crazy, building this thing and all the improvements we're doing. We've got some great new initiatives. The show's bigger. We had to expand the show floor, which is always
What are we doing?
just
Okay.
such an exciting sign, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the
That's a good
problem
thing.
is expanding the show mid-planning is never easy to do, but what a great indicator
Yeah.
on the momentum I think that the industry has. Um, I think anytime we can bring together thought leaders, which we've really tried to focus on from a conference standpoint, we're hosting a State of the Industry sort of event this year in partnership
Okay.
with M&P and Nielsen IQ. And
Okay.
and really it was kind of born out of the idea that like one of the roles we have at the association is try to make sure we're all informed and we're all aware. And as we've alluded to, there's so much changing and happening.
100%.
And we've been doing work with M&P on some of our research, and Nielsen IQ has been a partner for a few things. And so we just kind of came together with them and said, why don't we do this sort of non-keynote keynote where we can give everyone a sense of not only what we're seeing, but our hope is what are some of the implications of that? Like what are some tangible things that as business owners and leaders we need to be aware of? So we're excited to roll that out. I think that's going to be amazing.
When
Um,
is that one, Aaron? Like, is that on one of the days? Which day?
It'll be on the conference day. So
Be
instead
the
of
Friday.
in lieu of doing the traditional keynote lunch, we're doing the state of the industry lunch. So it'll
And
be on the
that's open
Friday.
to
Yeah,
all
yeah, you got to
Jump
register,
on.
members.
but
Yeah, yeah.
but we want to kind of pull everyone
Yeah,
in.
yeah, no, that's awesome.
Not that everyone doesn't like a good keynote speaker and kind of get energized and inspired, but just given the time and what we're going through right now in the world, we all kind of, would like to get together and share ideas and share what perspectives we're seeing and hopefully, aid into some better decision making, right? So
I think
so that's
I
been
think
really exciting to build that out.
I
I
like
love
that.
that because I think if you think of like this 30-minute conversation before, it's gone 8 ways to Sunday because
Of Kenny, yes.
everything we do is 8 ways to Sunday right now, right? Like it could be a conflict thing that's driven pricing up. It could be an AI thing. It could be a labor thing. It could be a south of the border thing. And I've only hit like 3 of the 8 things that it
Yeah.
could be, right? So having, guys that think about this, Nielsen IQ and MMP, to bring a little bit of structure to what to think about, I think it's going to be a big deal, right? Because you think of the average entrepreneur who's out there
Yep.
trying to figure out how to run the business, figure out which part of the world is burning and how it affects them,
Yep.
either because it's literally burning or figuratively burning.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
I think it's something I hope people lean in on because it is not often we get to bring that much expertise. I
Yeah,
mean, MP's got the business perspective, what deals are happening, what capital looks like. Nielsen IQ's got their fingers on the pulse of what is actually happening in retail. And then we've obviously got a broader perspective that we can apply through our research. And so it's a room that I hope everyone wants to be in, right? I think it's a great
I
opportunity.
don't see why you wouldn't want to be in it. How, it's hard it's hard to find it's not hard to find information. It's hard to find information you can want to trust
Yes.
and that's quasi accurate because there's a lot of shit out there. Like you can find,
Yeah.
if you want a story, you can find a story on anything. 99% of it might not be true, but there's stories out there. I like when
Yeah.
you guys do shit like this because I want to know people that have done some research, and I want to hear it. I want to know what's going on because how else do you react? Like, forget
Well,
what's happened. I want to know what I'm going to do next tomorrow. So if I listen, like, there's got to be some nugget in there
yeah, and
to
I
help me
love
push
I love where
forward.
you frame that. I mean, we just released our most recent report is our triple threat report. So it's the trust, transparency, and trade-offs. And so much of what you've just alluded to, Kenny, is in that, right? That consumers are skeptical. Like they're willing to engage. Like they're not
Sure,
saying
they
they're staying
are.
away from the categories. They want to believe, but they are very skeptical. And it is not trust by assumption here. It's like you
No,
prove it to them now. And I think
right.
the more we can be aware and arm ourselves with the realities of what's actually happening from people you can trust, it's going to lead to better decisions in your business. And that's why we're just really excited to put this one together. We've got that
It's
happening.
awesome.
We've got our industry night out that we're doing at the Dome. I don't know if you guys are going to join us, but I think we've got close to
Yeah.
700 people
Yeah.
signed
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
join us for a night of watching the Jays. Hopefully they're in a
Yeah.
better position than
That's
they
going to
are
be really
now.
Who are they
fun.
playing?
Um, that's a great question, Kenny.
I don't know actually.
Should have prepped
Yeah.
me for that one. I actually
Well,
forget
I'm going to
who
prep
they're
both of
playing.
you for this one because, I'm coming from Vancouver.
Does it
Like,
matter?
it does matter because I'd like to see the Yankees,
I'm sorry.
or
What?
I'd
Why
like to
does it
see.
matter? Were you going to watch a local baseball game, like a Jays game at your stadium, or
See,
were
this
you
is
going
the
to?
attitude of the Toronto people that's always a problem. Hey, we don't have a team. We know that. But if we're coming out to watch, we want to watch a good team. We want to watch a good game. I want to see the Jays beat the shit out of somebody.
I
Listen, I
you
know
and me.
Aaron's important, but I don't think he can change the Major
You know
League
what? You guys are
Baseball
both useless.
schedule.
Neither of
I
you know the
think.
schedule, so I'll hop online to find out who the hell
All
they're
right.
playing.
So I do think the industry night out at the Dome is a great
I
indicator
think
of
it's gonna
just
be cool.
people wanted to get together. We didn't know.
700, got that many people committed.
We thought 150, 200 people, I think was
I
our
would have
first
thought even
bit.
100, buddy.
And we're I think over 700 now. So
700.
it'll be fun. We're over a whole section. Like
That's
the
a
entire
section.
section is going to be the industry,
That
which
is crazy,
I
man.
think will be a blast. So excited about
Holy
that. And then
shit.
I think the big one that you guys have probably had some visibility to is the greenhouse. Is this evolution of our incubator alley from before, which has
Yeah.
been such a great tool for
Yeah.
increasing exposure, I think, for a lot of these startup brands. But the
Yeah.
greenhouse is the evolution of that because the insight for us was it's not just about exposure. And you guys would know this in the brands that you would work with. They actually need support and guidance on how to become retail ready. And so we needed to create some stepping stones, I think, for these brands that we're trying to get up and running. And so I'm just in love with what the team has done. We've got, a seed stage, a scale stage. So, seed, if you haven't, maybe crested over your product fit and market, you're not quite sure, you're
Yeah.
testing things out, you're getting introductions, different set of resources for that. And then the scale one is like, okay, you got proof of concept, but where do you go from here? And the hope is we can kind of introduce people, give them the tools, the resources, see them graduate onto the scale side, and then eventually they'll hop over and be a part of the big show floor. So it's a dedicated section on the show floor that we've heard one of the great advantages of the show is retailers get to come and see things they normally wouldn't see. And if we can curate that and put that in a place that's easy to navigate on the show floor, I think there's going to be a great experience for retailers. We're tying it to Launchpad. There's some introductions there. There's opportunities with retailers to do before the show floor opens. They're going to go from the greenhouse retailer breakfast that we host, and they'll get to actually go on the show floor into that section, meet with these startups before the craziness starts, right? And all the doors open. So a little bit of a curated experience for the retailers, a chance for these brands not to be so intimidated by the larger show floor
I
and
like that. Gives them a chance to warm up.
yeah, yeah. So we're hosting like workshops, little sessions online throughout the summer. I'm hosting one on buyers. I'm gonna harken back to my buyer day. Kenny, maybe we need a special guest and get you to come on and give some advice to these guys. So we want we
Yeah, you know me.
it's not a webinar. It's a working session, right?
Yeah.
So, come with questions. Let's talk about your
Yeah.
problem.
Ask the things that you're afraid to ask, right? Like
Yes,
things that you
yes.
don't know that you should be asking. We get this a lot, right? As people go, can I say that? What happens if Walmart or one of the big guys show up and I'm not ready?
you tell them you're not ready. You ask them to come see you in another year. You ask them to taste the product and say,
Yeah.
"Thank you, have a nice day.
Yeah,
Remember
I'm
us.
not ready.
We'll be
Yeah.
here."
I think one
You
of the
know?
biggest
Yeah.
misconceptions, and Kenny, you and I think have talked about this before, is people always think buyers buy products that they want. And it has nothing to do if they like the product or not.
It
It has,
shouldn't. At
like,
times we do, just to be fair. There's times I bought things because I really liked it and I really wanted it to. But for the most part, I'm buying for my consumers. I don't really care
Yeah.
what.
yeah,
If I
you're
don't
buying
like, I
because
didn't
you
like
want.
Also
most of what I bought.
buying, I'm also buying because I think there's a market fit and there's a way to make money out of this, right? Like,
100%.
so
What else you
I
doing it
wouldn't
for
need it.
otherwise?
You hear that a lot. Buyers will go, "I would need that." But
Who
I
cares? So
I
list
know
it.
Customers
people
will.
I know
Yeah.
people that are going to eat it and they would pay 9.99 for it.
Yeah.
So I'm
But it's
buying
this
it, right? Like,
misconception that you got to impress with, you got to get the buyer to like the product. No, you got to get the buyer to like your plan and
Yeah.
understand how your product being on their shelf will help their
yeah.
category.
Yeah,
That's what they want.
absolutely.
They want category success. And
I want a
so,
basket builder, man. I want
yeah,
more money in my tills. I want more customers in my stores. I don't care if I like things. I mean, I like to like things. It was more fun to buy to you or buy. It was more fun to buy shit when you enjoyed it.
of course, of
Definitely. But at the end
course.
of the
Yeah.
day, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
widgets. I just want to have stuff that customers want.
Yeah, and you don't
Make
want
my
I
customers
like
happy.
you
I like
only.
this one too because I think if
Yeah.
you're a buyer, the other part that's really interesting is, you go to these shows and it's hard to meet a couple of hundred, a couple of thousand vendors and figure out who fits and who doesn't fit, or
Yep.
who is ready and who is not ready. So now you get a chance to go before everyone else is. You get a chance to go, you know what? These guys are all early, and I just need to keep an eye on them because in the next couple of years, I'll be able to have a conversation. So I'll
Yeah.
try it, enjoy the company, have a conversation, be interested, and I can move on. And then
Mhm.
there should be a whole set where a set of retailers that go, I can come in here. Maybe I'm a local guy or I've got under 20 stores. I can get in on these guys early and make a good chunk of cash before the rest of the market figures out who these guys are. And so
Yep.
if you're a buyer, like I think about it the other way is you kind of go, like if you're Loblaws, Walmart, some of these big guys, you go, I need to find guys who are ready for me now. So I can't screw around. I need somebody who's going to be able to cover five, six, 2,000 stores. I'm looking for accomplished people who can do it. But
Yeah.
then there's
Now,
a whole set where you're kind of like, these guys have crested, they're ready, but maybe they can't do 1,200 stores, but they could do 500, 600 stores. Like there's a whole set of retailers that should be wandering into the show to go, this set here, I can go ham here and get some really cool stuff into my stores before everyone else figures out that these guys are here, if you will.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting to me.
No, totally. And I think the additional piece I just add
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
said that
yeah.
so eloquently is they're also trying to figure out what businesses can sustain that engagement,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
Like I love your product. I think there's a great fit, but you guys are a hot mess when it comes to your balance sheet. And I can't get in bed with you knowing that you
yeah,
may not be here in 6 months,
yeah.
right? So
right.
it's I think a lot of brands that are founder-based, true entrepreneurial mindset undervalue the financial literacy part of it because they come in and they want to sell the passion. Like, I love
Yeah.
this product so much. You're going to love this product so much too. And they're like, that's great. But how are you going to pay your bills? Right? What does inventory look like for you?
Yeah.
Are you aware of program rates? Do you have a broker? Do you have a distributor? Like, have you thought your way through the financial aspects of what you're doing? And if a buyer likes you, likes your product, sees there's a fit, but doesn't believe in your stability as an
I
organization,
ain't touching it.
you can't. The risk is just too high.
I
And they're
ain't
gonna go,
touching
well,
it.
who else does what you do? Because I need to go
Yeah.
talk to them
I'll
because
find
I
someone else. I think that's what they up here stand is listen, there's not one idea out there that someone hasn't else thought of or a variation or,
Yep.
or
Yep.
a variety of something like it. So at the end of the day, be careful. They don't get too hung up on how beautiful your packages and your colors are and yay team and my mommy loves it and all my friends like it. That's all good.
Yep. Yep.
At the end
I,
of the day,
I,
I got to make money. You
I
have to make money. We both need to make money.
yeah, well, that's a great point, right? It
No,
can't be a one-sided P where you give it all to the retailer to make them happy,
no.
and you don't have enough left to even drive your business, right? I always love the question of like, what are you going to do before I list you? What are you going to do the first 30, 60 days I've listed you? What are you doing in the 90 days plus after like, what is your plan? Because getting on shelf is, I always would say, it's
It's
like
the easy
getting to the
one.
starting line. Like,
the easy one.
congratulations, you're starting the
Yeah.
race. Now you got to go run the race.
Yeah,
And it's not the victory of like we got a listing. It's how do you get that second purchase from that same,
exactly.
how do you get that third purchase from that same customer? That's
Exactly.
meaningful, right? So we're trying to educate and make
I
like
like it.
we obviously engage with a lot of retailers and we said to them like we're going to invest in this program. We think it's worthwhile. We want to get to these guys early, and the ultimate outcome should be they're showing up at your meeting much more prepared and aligned with what your needs are. So the
Yeah.
retailers are excited because they're like, well, you're gonna get better presentations for us. We're all in. So we're getting support from the retailer side of it. And I think it's just gonna give a leg up to anyone that participates in the program that you're gonna know what you're going into, how to answer those questions, how to build a pitch deck. Like what do I need to put on my pitch deck? We've
Right.
got all the research and insights. Like you should be selling the insight, not your product. Sell the insight and then just have a solution that happens to be the thing that you sell, right? And
Yeah.
if we can train more of these startups that have the passion, but maybe not the retail experience, I think net net we create a better environment on both sides.
Well, you'll have a successful environment. Like you'll have stuff that actually can hit the shelf, and we can in 2 years we can both talk. Well, look at that, man! They're everywhere now. As
Yeah.
opposed to like for the most part, so many brands you think, wow, that didn't last that long.
Yeah.
The the number one, the number one thing that we get asked when we introduce brands to brokers, right? Or distributors, they ask us, right? Like, so if you're a brand listening to this, they ask us, Kenny and me, are they ready? And that's it. Like that's it's the one question, right? That
Yep.
distributors and brokers ask us is, are they ready? And so Kenny and I will go, yep, you know what? We look through, we kind of comb through their stuff. They've got margin, they've got a plan,
Mhm.
they can support you as a distributor broker going out to the business, and they understand how to work with a partner, right? And so,
Mhm.
in a way, what you guys are building is exactly that is you're helping brands to be able to say to a retailer, hey, it doesn't matter what size you are, or I'm ready for a retailer of this size. So are
Yep.
you a retailer of this size? I can help you. And I think any retailer, any buyer would go, well, wait a second. Like, who are these guys? Like, why do they understand that?
Yeah.
They feel like people I can work with, right? Like all of a
Yes.
sudden there's something to do there, right? So, you
Yes.
know, I
Yeah.
like it. I like it a lot. I think it's going to be really
Yeah,
cool,
it's
actually.
awesome.
Well, and Kenny, you alluded to it. I think there's there's situations where the brand should say no. If
100%.
they had their head on straight, they would say no
100%.
to some opportunities, right? And knowing that like we work with a lot of emerging brands and talk to a lot of guys that are starting their businesses and they will celebrate a listing where they pick up 1,000 doors. And I go, how are you going to afford that? Right? Like growth is very, very
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
And look, I ran a company that had 15% growth or 1,500% growth. And it was the biggest challenge we had
Yeah, because
is
you kill cash flow. Where are you where's the money coming from?
yeah.
That,
And unfortunately retailers don't often pay you in short terms. And so you're having to float this inventory
Yeah.
build. And so you just want to get to these guys early and go, you want the successes, but you've got to build it systematically. And it's
yeah.
not about trying to go from 0 to 100 in 30 days. Like we all know the
To tell
ad,
you the truth,
like an
Aaron, it's
overnight
very
success is
dangerous.
not overnight, right? You
No, and
need
there's
that
not
lead.
many of them.
No,
And that's a
not
problem, I think, sometimes in our industry. Like we highlight the five, six, seven people who did crush it that way. And I'm super happy for all of
celebrate.
them. Super.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it doesn't happen just because you wish it. Like you've got to have the mechanics and you need to understand this game. To your point, you've got three stores in East Van and Loblaws calls. Hang up the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, say hello first and how are you?
Be
But
polite.
I'm not ready for you. We
Yeah.
can talk next year. Click.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
not ready. You shouldn't even be out of East Van yet. Like just take a breath of air. Like
Yes.
figure things out.
Yeah, and I just think that funnel of getting new emerging brands into the sector is just critical, right? Like it is the
It's
lifeblood
what
of what we
drives
do.
it.
Is where innovation comes from. These are the guys that are taking risks and dreaming up new products, and
Yeah.
we need to support
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
element within our sector because it's what keeps this
Okay.
thing going. And we haven't made it easier on ourselves. I think navigating like the Canadian retail market is very consolidated, right? And so if you want scale and growth, you're looking at what, five, generously maybe eight retail partners that,
Six.
right? That you need
Yeah.
if you want a viable, larger,
Yeah.
scalable business, right?
Yeah.
And those are just realities of the
Yeah.
landscape that we've got, completely different than other markets.
Yeah.
But we put up a lot of barriers, where it's access to the knowledge, access to the research,
Yeah.
regulatory challenges, that we fight on an
Yeah.
ongoing basis. We just make it really hard for these small businesses to grow. And
Yeah.
I think we were talking about sort of the geopolitical stuff earlier, and the fact that we as a country, I think, have had to take a really hard look at ourselves and go, what have we done for domestic manufacturing? What have we done for production within our own four walls, right?
What have we
And
done for trade within our own
yeah,
walls?
yeah, and I think it's a challenge, and it's a really ugly situation. But I think net we're doing things now, or at least having conversations now that we didn't have before, about supporting really important emerging domestic businesses and finding ways to build those. And that's exciting. It's a ton of work ahead, and I don't think any of us have all the answers yet. But like, my conversations with government have changed drastically,
I
because
bet.
it's now, I mean, one, we've done the research to know how big we are. So like, the natural organic wellness industry in Canada is a $28 billion industry, right?
It's a decent size, eh?
It's about on par with auto manufacturing.
Yeah. It's a
So like, it's a,
big,
auto parts, like, you might have heard of that. And but it's so fragmented, right? So like, the analysis we've done is on scale and GDP, it's comparable to auto parts. Hey, that's really interesting. But it is so dispersed amongst
yeah.
small and medium-sized enterprise that you're talking about thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
businesses that make up this contribution versus a handful. And the dynamics of those businesses are very different. How resilient they are to regulatory change is very different. And for the first time, at least in my tenure doing this, conversations with Health Canada have had a economic lens to them, which is a complete 180. 2 years ago, Health Canada was like, we don't talk about economics. We talk about safety.
No,
All we
because
care
what
about
they
is
were
safety.
trying to pass wasn't economical at all. Like,
So you're
sorry,
going,
not to take a run at someone who's being a partner now. So I'll,
no, no, no. And look, there's different leadership. There's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
name of the party may be the same, but I will share that the engagement is very different. Look, it's got a long way to go. We haven't solved all the
yeah,
problems, but at least we're having reasonable conversations about,
yeah.
if developing domestic manufacturing and domestic businesses in one of the fastest growing sectors is of interest, we've got to look at the cumulative effect of all the changes and all the things that
Yeah.
we're doing. And I think the heads nodding to that has been really encouraging, right? We haven't gotten to solutions yet necessarily in some cases, but at least there's an
At least we're
awareness of,
talking.
yeah, we
At
in
least
a
we're
reasonable way,
talking.
in a reasonable
Aaron,
way.
Head
you know
nodding is
what? What's happened in the last 18, 20 months is probably the best thing that's ever going to happen to this country. It's the shits. It's not fun to go through.
Yep.
It's not fun every day when we don't know what the hell's going on. This movement of every day is a different day is not good. I get it. We need to do this shit. I did wish it didn't happen this way, but
Yes.
sometimes you need it to be massively disruptive so that we actually do wake up and say, listen, get your shit together. We're a
Yep.
good country. We got a lot of great people. We got great entrepreneurs, got great product. We have tons of resources. We need to get our shit together. And we
Yep.
need to stop all this other bullshit talk. This is why forget liking this government, not liking this government. We're finally talking about
Mhm.
trying to step forward.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
let's go.
some structural changes that we didn't have the urgency to do. And I think the pain that we are
Exactly.
going through has given us that urgency. And 10 years from now, we'll look back and go, how did we build all this capacity in domestic business? And it's like, oh, well, because we went through that hell.
Because we had a
But, but, it, but, it,
shitty time.
but I hope that it causes us to do the right thing, right?
I think it will. I think I feel right now, and I think maybe you should probably, I think right now we're in a position where I think we've got a couple years of stability here, not the world. I can't control the world. We can only sort of control our own backyard, but we might have some, at least governmental stability. Let's now, as a collective, let's get this moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what I wish we'd start doing. Again, you can criticize the government all day. You can criticize whatever you want. You're 18, but can we come up with some solutions? How about we just try to
But,
get some stuff moving? And
but
you're
I
an
think
organization that can do it. You guys need to be the positive force. So when we're at the show, at the end of September, that's what you want to feel. I want to feel like, yeah, it's tough out there. We know that. Okay, whatever. But I want to walk through opportunity and
But
look
we
at these
also,
other brands and say, good on you, man. Let's
I
go.
think, I think to your point though, Kenny, like the other thing is, if you think of auto industry and this sector being about the same size, we also this industry needs to come together because auto industry is taking a hit. It's going to continue to take a hit, right?
It's not
Because
going to
we're
get any better.
connected across three countries,
Yep.
one of which is not playing now, which is breaking the entire relationship. The industry that we're in now, we control this. Not we, like the three of us. Oh,
No, but as a collective.
maybe the three of us control. I don't. But
Don't give away
all
our
I'm saying is,
secret.
but it's a Canadian driven exercise that allows us to keep something in market in house that we can grow mostly on our own, which means we can help out, with it. Like it becomes a bigger exercise than just us looking at us going, why are we so dumb to ourselves, right? We actually can help Canadians be,
100%.
we can help us stand on our own 2 feet, right? So,
Yeah, I'm
not
just
to put any pressure on you, Aaron. Everything is about the
no.
show now. If it doesn't go well, like holy crap.
Well, clearly it was a CHFA issue. I don't know what the hell they were doing
I
there.
mean,
I got
Yeah.
thick skin, guys. I got thick skin. I just by way of example, I think, to show you how I think the approach has changed. The whole initiative for red tape reduction that was announced by the government last year, and one of our like the natural health product sector was called out in that memo, which I think was really really interesting to see and a really great acknowledgement of the importance of this sector. What we're seeing now, like I met with the president of the Treasury Board of Canada a couple weeks ago, and so he's like, "Isn't it great? We're doing all this red tape reduction stuff." I said, "Yeah, 100%. Like we appreciate the initiative. It needs to happen. It's been part of the thing we've been asking for. The challenge is you're taking, 2 steps back on one side of the equation and
Yeah.
4 steps forward on the other side." And so we're now having conversations where he goes, "Well, that's not the spirit of what we're trying to do." And I'm like, "I appreciate that." But we as an industry, I think the role that the association plays is we've got to aggregate all these data points from all of our members to go, "You're saying this, but this is what's happening at the
Right.
ground. This is what our business is feeling." And bringing those to people like the president of the Treasury to say, you know, you're doing things with the right spirit and you're trying to accomplish the things that we're all asking for, but the realities are different. And so
Right.
we're able now to bring facts and specifics back to the table and go, "Oh, okay, well, we need to go back and look at that." So it's not a denial of the impact. It's well, that wasn't the intended consequence, but now we've got new information, maybe we should make
Right.
new decisions, which I think is the best you can ask for, right?
Yeah.
So from a regulatory burden standpoint, we've made some progress. We're making, like, cost recovery was delayed. Yay, that's what we wanted. Labeling is being reconsidered. Yay, that's what we wanted. We're improving the pathways to market. Yay, that's what we wanted. But we also can't avoid the fact that you're implementing new GMP rules, right? And that are increasing burden
Right.
massively at the operating level. So it's bringing that aggregated view to go, look, you can be winning on one side and still have challenges on the other. We can still
Right.
celebrate the wins, but we still
Right.
got to fix the challenge. And I think the tone now is a willingness to have that conversation.
But I
And
think that's the encouraging part, the part we need to focus on, because it's easy to be Debbie Downer. And this isn't Debbie, this is reality. I think it's important that I'm encouraged to hear you say that when you're bringing this, it's someone saying, "Oh, well, that wasn't the intent. I get it.
yep,
I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying that you had malicious intent. The road to hell is paved with great intentions." Right? So again, try to just pave a new road. I mean, if you don't learn, or if I can't come to you and say, "Listen, these 10 things are really good," just so you know, these two almost outweighed
that's what
the
happens.
10. Can we
Yep,
work on the two? And if someone's willing to understand why we're doing that,
yes.
right, ease up on my label laws. Let me develop products quicker. But now you shut down the manufacturing because you got rules there that
Yep.
nobody in the world can manufacture to this level. I mean, well, what do you want to do now?
Yeah, you don't need cold chain monitoring for vitamin C shipped on a pure
I
later.
think it's okay. I think it's been done for a lot of years. I think we might be okay.
And the
Just
cost
saying.
of training Purelator trucks to be able to monitor
Really?
temperature, like it just,
Yeah.
and
Seriously.
again, it's
It
likely,
was
I'm
the
optimistic about
intent
the
was,
intent to do it
I
that
get
way,
it.
but the implications are what's
Yeah.
happening. So yeah, like there will be more work to be done, but I think the clarity that we've been able to bring through,
I think
the
it's
work
awesome.
of members, the things that they've been able to engage with, that, the red tape reduction is a good initiative that still needs more work. And we've got a real challenge with competitiveness when we make the
Yeah.
burden domestically so high, and yet other manufacturers can ship across the border directly to someone's home without the same burden. That
It's
is not
ridiculous.
going to support a domestic manufacturing base.
Yeah.
And that those things, given the current economic environment, I think really are getting some
Yeah.
attention, which is great to see.
I'm just happy to hear it sounds like people are talking about it.
You got to
That's
start talking
so right.
first, right? You can't get much done if you won't talk. And I think the
No,
last
it's
few years have shown us that if
clearly.
you got to bang your pots and pans and yell at people to get their attention, it's generally not constructive.
No,
So
no.
we have the opportunity to be quite constructive, and we got to put the work in. We got to get the engagement. We still need the industry to be engaged, but we see a pathway now, I think,
All
which we
right.
didn't see before.
That's
I
exciting
love it.
stuff, man. It's a cool industry. Time is cool. Lots of opportunities out there.
So we're kind of coming into this conference with if you think of it, it's been a kind of tough few years, but you've got domestically and externally, internationally, but now you've got a breath of fresh air. We've got a chance to be able to do some things.
Mm.
It's less, I think of
Owners.
I think of where you guys were going to, and then in a way you got it's not sidetracked because it's part of your mandate, but like, kind of this head to head with the government that you had to
Mm.
do, really it sucked a lot of resources out of what you guys were doing, right? And so now it is kind of amazing. Like we can actually get back to doing business. Right?
Yeah,
Like
no,
it's kind of cool. Like it's a whole different spin on the conference, if you will,
I
because
love it. Yeah, I
um,
love that perspective because it's not like the advocacy work or the government work ever goes away, but
yeah.
it gets more acute in the focus that's needed
Right.
for periods of time. And I think through like the work that we've been doing, the research we've been doing, it's been so encouraging to see that consumers are still fully engaged in this
Yeah.
industry, right? They're not stepping away from their wellness. They're looking for maybe more cross functionality, more like, how many things can you check off my list? Can I, better sleep and energy and digestion all in one? Great. So they're looking for that efficiency still, because price and value is still paramount to them, but they haven't abandoned the purpose of the sector,
No.
which I see is just so encouraging, right? They
Yeah.
see the value, they're just questioning more. So there's more work from a brand perspective to validate those feelings that consumers are having. Um,
Mhm.
and we can do that. I mean, the recent report touched on both third party and sort of certification claims, and there's challenges with each of them, but there's a purpose and a role to them. I mean, one of the more interesting things that came out of it for me, well, Kenny, you were talking about staff in the store earlier. Um, the final decision really comes down to that ability to talk to someone they trust, whether that's a staff in store, a friend in a family,
Yep.
a practitioner of some sort that doesn't have an agenda, right? People are often bringing up sort of the impact of influencers and being like, well, TikTok and Instagram is doing all this. And what we found is, yeah, that's great for discovery, but nobody trusts them. So they will go there to find products and go like, hey, what's
What?
this thing that I want? But their final purchase decision is not based on that because there is no trust with that information. And so they're filtering early on to go, hey, where should I look? But then at the moment of decision, they're still looking at value, efficacy, and conversations with people they trust. And
Yeah.
and I think that leads to real opportunity for this industry because it's differentiated. There's a higher degree of skepticism, but also a high belief in potential. And I think that leads to, what we're seeing, which is, just continued momentum in the space. And the show's just a culmination of that. Like it's one of
Yep.
the reasons I think we love it so much is that we have these conversations, we have these different interactions, and then for these 3 days in September, we all got to be under the same roof, cross paths with people we don't, see every day, meet some new people. Like one of my favorite things is seeing an entrepreneur meet a retailer they've wanted to meet for the first time. And just the eyes light. If you
Yeah.
catch them right after, they can like often barely even speak. Like that was the Sobeys buyer. And like, yeah, how did it go? Right? And but it's
I
that
don't
moment
remember.
of like, oh, the rubber's hitting the road, right?
Yeah.
And you don't get that in very many circumstances. So that ability
Yeah.
to bring everyone under that roof and see those conversations happen live, that fills me up. Like that's joy right there.
Can I just add one little plug for Greenhouse?
Yeah, please.
The our favorite moment that we wouldn't mind seeing it go away a little bit more is the phone call we get after they've met their first buyer that they wanted to meet. Because
Mhm.
usually we get, holy fuck, what do I do now?
They've been waiting for this moment,
Yeah,
building
yeah,
this
yeah,
moment, and
yeah,
then it happens. They go,
yeah.
"Well, now what do I do?"
And they
Yeah.
said yes, or they said send me paperwork. Holy fuck, what happens now, right? And we kind of go, we got it. Let's work through this. What did you ask? What didn't you ask? But plug for greenhouses, you start to learn like in that moment, there's
Hmm.
less panic because it's like, hey, the guy said this is what's going to happen next.
Right.
Did
Yes.
it go the way I thought it would or no, right? Like,
Yeah.
so greenhouse is another one of those moments you kind of go, that's what I learned out of this, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's it. You sort of you nailed it there, Phil. I think what we were focused on before was exposure, and what we're focused now is on readiness. So we got to do both. You need the opportunity to be in front
Yeah.
of people and have the right exposure, but you also have to have the toolkit already built so that you can execute once you're in that room with the right person. And that's the gap I think we're filling with Greenhouse is people will graduate, quote unquote, from this, going like, okay, I may not have done it yet, but I know what to expect. And I know how to set myself up for success. And we've probably all been there. And actually, Kenny, I know you specifically have with one of the brands that were on the show floor, where they just like they haven't thought through their pricing. Like, what do you mean I need to pay a broker? What do you mean I need to pay a distributor? Like, I sell it for this at my
What
local.
about co-op? What about
My,
listing fees? What about not getting paid for 45, 60, 70,
yeah.
90 days?
Like, I make 40 points on this. No, you make 40 points selling it out of the back of your truck at a
Yeah.
farmer's
That's
market. That's not going to translate,
Yeah.
right? So, working with them ahead of time to reverse engineer, here's where you're going to be eventually, hopefully, right? You're going
Yeah.
to be in full distribution. You're going to work through all these guys. You need to set that up as though that's going to happen so that you can get there, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the encouraging part. It's the chance to build up the acumen of that next wave of businesses to have them be more successful at the things that they want to do. I know for me, for the team, like that's where we get really excited in the role that CHFA plays.
But that's where you should get excited. In the old days, if it's just a show about you have cool products, okay, it was a given. I already knew that about the show. I don't really care. I was going to the show was already, I knew we
Yeah,
had cool products. Ooh,
yeah,
18. I need cool products that actually can do shit.
yeah,
Like, I don't need an idea. I need a proof of concept. I need to know that if I'm going to talk to you, I don't want to spend 15 years educating you. It's not my job.
yeah,
As
yeah,
a buyer, I wanted to sign something. Let's go.
yeah,
Like I want to move. And I love the fact that we're finally getting the show over the years since you guys have started doing it is like every year it gets better and better because they're more ready to actually do business, which is the whole purpose of
yes,
why they're there, I'm assuming. Is
yeah.
ultimately someone wanted to do some commerce, some transactions. Get your shit
Yes.
together so we can get there. And then everybody can try your product and fall in love with it. And yay, team, let's go.
And I think that's what the team's done a really good job with the show floor. So in Vancouver, we did Deck the Aisles, and so we're obviously timing is different. We're not doing a Christmas theme this year, but in the middle of the show floor, we partnered again with Hive, and we're doing like a merchandising section.
Awesome.
So as a
awesome.
retailer, you want to walk through, and as a brand, you want the opportunity to showcase what does your off shelf look like, right?
Right.
Because it should be part of your bigger pitch, right? Here's what I can do on shelf. Here's what we can do off shelf,
Right.
and giving an opportunity for the retailer to actually experience that live,
Right.
see what it could look like, feel like on the show floor. Just another tool, right, to create that atmosphere where you can do business, whether that's a purchase order or not, but you're doing business on the show floor because you're engaging with those people in a way that you can't do anywhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Exactly. I think it's critical. I don't know. I've told you a billion times. Like the change over the years is phenomenal, and to see it grow and to see it every year become more and more in my head, for lack of a better, like relevant to the positions that I was in. I love hunting, but I would
mm,
love to hunt for something I actually can actually eat or use.
yep,
I
yep,
don't want to have to hunt a concept and now spend time. That's not my job. My job is to sign what the old days was to sign shit. Let's go.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the feedback. You know, I think it shows how much fun and passion the team has for doing this, right?
Absolutely.
Team is, I mean, they're incredible, but they also really enjoy it. Like it is
You can see it
a
though.
joy to do this stuff, right? And
Yeah.
that I think that comes across. Yeah.
Listen, it doesn't, you can be on our podcast now. We can stop the recording now. I don't care. I'm telling you, the difference is tangible and you guys need to understand it so that you continue to do it. It's not just words. I don't really care. You know me, I don't need to butter you up. I don't really care.
We're not stopping it because
It's a changed
I want to
world.
plug
Take
one
it,
more
man.
thing. I just want to plug one more thing because I think the merchandising set that you put together for Vancouver, I loved a lot. If you're doing that again, like if you're a brand, if you're a newer brand and you need to learn, like we talk about this a lot too, is you need to go to retail, you need to look at retail, you need to learn
Yes.
retail. There is no better place than to be at a show, to be around people, to look at one. If you're getting into this game, display space, merchandising space, how you merch an end, how merchandisers think about an end, all of
Yep.
those things,
Yep.
that is bread and butter to what you do. And so we didn't see enough people use your merchandising space or walk through it in Vancouver the last time through.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to be there, this is critical. And you know, the best thing to do is either to grab a Hive person and ask them how they
Yeah.
think about facing, sets, or you grab someone old and ancient like Kenny, where he's going to talk about facing all day and
Hey, I like a
start.
face store. I like
This
clean.
is what I'm saying, right?
Oh,
So but you can grab almost anybody in any aisle who's been in retail for more than 5 years and go, walk with me and tell me what you see.
Right.
And we will all see something different. It is useful to you as a new brand. So for no moment should anybody not be walking through those aisles. They will tell you things that you never knew. The Hive guys will be able to tell you all sorts of weird things
yeah.
about how retailers like certain things faced up that you will never think of. So don't
Yes.
skip it.
Well,
Like truly don't skip it, right?
and opportunities that you didn't know existed. Like
Absolutely.
that's what I
Absolutely.
think surprises most people. Is
Yeah.
like I can do that. Which retailers would accept those? Oh, I had no
Yeah. Yeah.
idea they would accept those,
Yeah.
right? So no, I mean, yeah, I think there's an inflection point for some brands where they try to conflate being differentiated and being relevant. And I think that's a bit of a trap. You don't want to be different just for the sake of
Yeah.
being different, because if you're
Yeah.
not relevant, no one's going to buy it.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
But you still need to show differentiation. And I
Right.
think the ability to execute across all the different touch points in the store, like off-shelf
Right.
merchandising, can be your differentiator. Like these brands are great.
Absolutely.
These guys know how to execute in store.
Yeah.
I'm going to work with them. So if
Yeah.
Absolutely.
you're coming to the show and you want to make a statement, if you want to show merchants that you're the real deal and you can actually fulfill their needs, like give the Hive guys a call. Like that section, I think. I know if I was a buyer still, I would love that section, right?
Yeah.
I would want to
Yeah.
walk there, want to see what brands are showcasing what,
Yeah.
because though you don't generally get that in a in-office pitch, right? They're not
Yeah.
lugging in bring displayers and showcasing setups that they could do. So it's just an opportunity to stand
Yeah.
out and to show what you can do.
Right.
I
And if you
think
can get
last
away from your
plug,
booth,
yeah. If you can get away
walk
from
the
the
aisle.
booth, I would walk it. I think the
Yeah.
last plug I would give, and sorry, Amanda and team, if it makes some work for you, is I would bring one of your product with you. Because one of the things that we focus on a lot is every brand owner goes, are these the right colors? Do I have the right things? But you don't think about things that that make them crazy. So, you know, the most overlooked thing, like, should you be a peggable product? Like, are you in a category where they
Yep.
have hooks and pins? Like, are you doing that? Like, did you put the one little
Yep.
hole
It's
that
just a
could make
hole.
all the difference, right? Between you getting jammed up
Right.
stuck in a corner on the shelf or
Yep.
being in a peggable section that you get your own facing right away, right? Like, you don't know that. A merchandiser would be able to tell you, hey, you know what? Like, I can totally see you going there if you had a clip strip,
Yep.
like, or you shouldn't be, or why is this? Yeah, but Kenny and I do that because we're jerks like that. We'll go, why is this so wide? Like, what do you like?
That's
No
not
buyer is
jerky.
going to give you two
That's
spacings of,
valid.
of space, right? Like, you should be, a couple of inches wide, and now you're double that size because you think that. No way, nobody's going to give
Yeah.
you that space. Like, all of those things become really apparent. You learn them
They
in
need
the
to walk those sections.
yeah,
Aaron, the one we always laugh at, 3 inches deep, stock pack 6. Shelves are 17.
Yes.
Why are you 18?
Yes.
Do the math.
Yeah.
Buy some Lozier shelving, put it in your
Yeah.
office, and
Yeah.
test products
It's
on the
not
floor.
rocket science.
So this is a
Take
little
it
Or go to the
embarrassing.
show and bring your stuff and make
Just
the
bring
hype
your
people really
stuff.
crazy.
Yeah.
Start rearranging shelves. You will get interesting conversations out of that.
I
Yeah.
think it's such a
Things
great
that
point.
you
And I'll
can
share a slightly embarrassing story, but you'll get why. So one of the things that always bothers me is when people do displayers and they don't think through the configuration of their packaging to the requirements of the corrugate. So they'll get a lip on the front of like a half pallet that they've built,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that lip completely covers the flavor call out
All of
of
it.
the packaging. And so you
Yeah.
get this giant display of like, I don't know what I'm looking
Yeah.
at. So I always urge people like put it in situation. Everything that you're doing, you actually have
100%.
to build it and look at it. And so the funny
100%.
story is, I think you guys know this. I was part of the team that launched Rolling Meadow Dairy, right? So the first grass-fed dairy business in Canada, really exciting. And we had built, I think it was on the truck in the window or the car. So we got the vinyl wrapped car with grass-fed dairy, all this stuff. But what we didn't realize is when you rolled down the window, the G on the R came off the grass-fed dairy.
Oh,
Hadn't
no.
thought of that one when we were vinyling the
Amazing what you
car.
miss.
And so our
Oh, dear.
ass-fed dairy car that would drive
Yeah.
around, we're like, should have thought that
Now,
one
you never
through
know, though.
before we
That
put
might
it
have
on.
worked
You
for
might
your
have
advantage
attracted an
because what's
entire
grass-fed dairy?
different set of consumers.
Maybe,
That's how you spend
maybe, yeah.
it.
So just
Might have
think
worked
it
for your
through,
benefit.
put it in situation. Like, don't
Yeah.
don't be naive. Try it through.
Yeah.
Talk to some guys that know some things.
Yeah.
But you don't want to make those mistakes.
Try to double up too if you can. We tell people all the time. I tell people every show they go, don't go by yourself. I know, guys, there's
Oh,
expenses
yeah,
to do
yeah.
shows. You should always have two people to show because you need to get out of your booth.
Yes.
And I say that because you want to walk to see what your direct competitors are doing, your indirect competitors. You should listen to conversations others are having
Yes.
with buyers. It's the amount of shit you can do at a show that's got nothing to do with your booth is another angle that I think take advantage. So Aaron, you stay at the booth. I'm going to go walk the hive aisle. I just want to see. I see some cool shit. I can put it in my next conversation with the buyer who's still coming. Do you know what I mean? You gotta take advantage of these shows. There's so much learning, and it's
Yeah.
not in your booth. You gotta
Yeah.
walk
So we'll
if you
have,
can.
like over 1,000 booth exhibitors, yes. And we often get the question about, should the show be open to the public? Like, is it a consumer show? Can we open it up that way? There's a lot of implications to doing that, but what I remind people is we've got 9,000 people that walk the show that are consumers,
They're
that are actually
consumers. I'm a consumer still,
qualified
eh?
consumers. So I get the red badges. You do want to talk to retailers. You want to have like that
Yeah,
is really constructive commercial conversation. But don't negate the fact that, people that work in other booths are in this industry because they care about
absolutely.
these products and are probably your core customer. And
Yeah,
so think of it both ways. There is a trade portion to it, but you can also kind of lean in on a bit of a consumer conversation with people that are around you, that are in your aisle.
yeah,
And I see it all the time. And it's such a great opportunity to sort of maximize the efficiency of the show.
absolutely. No, it's all good, buddy boy. It's all good. It's
All
all
right,
good. I'm
Kenny,
looking forward to
I'm
it.
excited to
I,
be at
I,
the show.
as we wrap this up, I got an important question for you.
Yes.
Who are the Jays playing? I know you looked it up.
Cincinnati.
There you go.
Okay.
Are you still coming then?
Boy,
Yeah?
he's still
Just to
coming.
be with you, I will show up.
No,
All
he's
right.
still coming. He's with me.
I'm not
so he's
listening to
coming.
Phil. It's just for you, Aaron. That's what I'm doing. So I don't care what Phil says.
I'll
Listen,
make sure I
Aaron,
step
he's
aside.
with me, so he's coming.
But I
It
want a
doesn't
beer and a
matter.
hot dog from
It's not like
somebody.
he-
That's all I want. Just
It's
a
not
beer
like
and a
he's
hot
got a
dog.
choice. So yeah, he's coming. Yeah.
Hang out with me. I'll get you a beer and a hot
A
dog.
beer and a hot dog. That's it. I'm very low maintenance. Just a beer and a hot dogs. I just because there's nothing like it. I mean,
I don't believe
to
him.
me, it's one of the most
The
boring
beer will
sports to
matter.
watch.
The hot dog will matter. It'll.
I love watching baseball live. I love being in the stands. I
Yes.
love the crack of the ball.
Yes.
To me, it's not really exciting sport, sorry for the baseball fans, but I love watching baseball live. Love it.
Live sport is just amazing.
Live sport.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Live sports, live concerts,
Yeah.
live conferences.
Can't beat it. Live
Um,
plays, live perform, anything that live. But
Anything
baseball,
live.
and it's the sounds, that crack of the ball that I just love to hear.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to sharing that beer and a hot dog with you
I'm all over it, buddy.
during the show. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it'll come soon. It'll be here before we know it.
Love it. I love it. Hey, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for doing this.
This is
I mean, you
like
can do this anytime, you know that. So whatever, it doesn't really. It's your podcast. You can just Book a time.
I often forget it gets recorded because it's just a conversation with friends, right? So it's great. It's great.
Yeah,
No, this is not work.
No, it's
Jeff,
cool.
if you're still listening, we really mean it. Aaron is welcome. He's still
Anytime.
here anytime.
Even though we touched on 10% of the questions that she proposed, but that's okay.
Oh, did we have a list?
I think so.
Oh, did we do any of it?
We got there. Yeah, we got
Okay,
there.
well, that's pretty good then.
You might be yelling at the screen right now, right?
You know what? If you guys are happy, she's happy. So don't. All good. All good. Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, looking
Our
forward
pleasure,
to this.
buddy boy.
We'll
Our
see
pleasure.
you. See you in a couple months.
We'll see you in less than that now, I guess, practically, right? Jeez.
Yeah, less
Wow.
than 2 months now. So the
It's already August.
countdown is on. All right,
2
guys.
days, baby. Holy shit.
Phil, enjoy your time up at the mountain.
I will. Thank you. Yeah.
Kenny, just get out of bed at some point today.
It's overrated, man. It's all good. You know what? I'm going to do baseball cards now. I think that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I think I have to work with Phil for another 2 hours or so. Then I'm going to do baseball cards.
I've started to try to collect with my kids again, Kenny. I should connect with you. So I've tried to reinitiate the baseball
Buddy, all over it. You kidding me?
Madness. Just
Yeah.
be careful what you're
But
getting.
I'm
All
so
over it.
confused. I'm so it's so much different than it was.
That's
when
why I do vintage. It's
Yeah.
easy. 2 rookies, maybe 3 max. Easy peasy. A lot of years, just 1 card. Nice and easy.
So we started trying to do the new tops and Bowmans, and I'm like,
Buddy, you're gonna go broke.
it's so expensive for what you
Yeah,
get.
and
It's like
you
playing the
gotta
lottery.
teach people, don't
Like-
chase cards. You want a card, buy the card.
Right.
Don't buy the box.
But I
buy
don't
the
like
card.
that part of the game now because, like,
No.
we didn't buy nobody bought cards because we were like, oh my God, I'm gonna collect the next Gordie Howe.
No.
Like, I got cards because I watched hockey and then I thought it'd be kind of cool. And then you bought them and they didn't cost you anything. Like,
Well, it's a nickel.
don't really think about it, right? Like,
And
I'm not
$10
that
a
old. So
pack
it wasn't
now
a
for 2
nickel.
cards.
I'm not
Well,
that old.
Kenny-
It wasn't a nickel, but it wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah,
what
It was a nickel.
now it's obscene almost.
And
Like,
Kenny, you can back me up on this. When I collected, I have full sets
Yeah.
in the box, still sealed,
Yeah.
for 1990, 91, 92, and 93 Upper Deck baseball.
okay.
Completely like useless. Like not worth a thing, right?
To
Because
some degree. So
Yeah.
if you want to play in the world now of stupidity, is you crack them, you take out the 10 best players, and you pray to God you get 10s. Because
Right.
otherwise, it's good for campfires,
yeah, like
I guess.
they're just not worth very much. So
Buddy, I
all that
just bought-
collecting
I
and
bought
actually
14
kept them, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll.
No,
They're just. I
So
went to a card
overproduced.
shop, and the guy, what are they? They're just junk
they
wax,
laugh.
whatever he called them. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's junk. They made so
It's
many.
junk wax.
Yeah, I'm like
1987 to about 1994, junk wax. I bought
My prime
14
for
Apple
cards.
boxes, buddy. 14 Apple boxes last week. 14. There's got to be 500 pounds of cards I have in one of the rooms. And it's, you know what it is? It's basically 30 hours of sorting to find $30.
But you
I
love.
figured right now I'd probably
Okay.
make about $1 an hour, maybe $1.25 on a good day.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
Ah,
All right, happy card sorting.
Thank you, my friend.
Gentlemen, always a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Beer and a hot dog.
You got it. You
Beer
got
and
it.
a hot dog.
maybe in a couple of months. It'll be
Okay,
amazing.
thanks, guys. Take care.
Okay.
Take care,
Take
man.
care. Bye.
I always love talking to Aaron.
Nice to talk to you.
I always love talking to Aaron. I don't even know half the time. I hope we did I hope we did some of that list.
Sorry,
I
Gus,
don't
we got
think
most of
probably
it.
did.
I think we got most of it.
Just as thinking, you guys are idiots. That was supposed to
Yeah.
be. Okay, well, it's Aaron's fault.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody.